Okay, so today I want to talk a little bit more about the importance of identifying your individual food sensitivities and your triggers. So, we're all unique, we're all individual, and it's super, super important. If you are struggling with food sensitivities and digestive symptoms, it is super important to figure out what foods work well for you and which foods trigger you and cause inflammation in your body. So, sometimes this can be complicated because it can be the accumulation of a certain food or certain categories of foods that are triggering your system. They build up, and then when you hit your threshold for that food category, then you start having more symptoms. So it can be kind of complicated to tease it out. But once you figure this out, it is a game changer. You know, for some people, it's literally like a switch, and the magic happens, and all of a sudden you're feeling good. You don't have the symptoms that you've been struggling with. You don't feel sensitive all the time. For me, one of the biggest things with this is that my brain cleared. I had a lot of brain fog and I wasn't able to focus. I wasn't able to remember words. And really, it really challenged. My memory was shot, things like that. So that really shifted for me. Also, when I figured out what was causing inflammation in my body and my food triggers, when I was able to remove those foods and really eat in a way that supported my body, I was noticeably less anxious. I mean, for me, my husband noticed huge shifts and huge changes, and fears that I'd had for years, things that I thought about and I would get anxious about at certain times of the day, or in hindsight, really when I ate certain foods as well. But also there's that accumulation. Like my anxiety was just kind of out of control. And I noticed those things just not being there anymore. You know, I just didn't have the fear that I once had, or I just didn't have those anxieties, and I wasn't ruminating or worrying in the way that I used to worry. My body felt much more content, more satisfied. And that's what happens when you figure out your individual food triggers and the foods that are causing inflammation for you, the foods that are serving you well. Um, your body, and you eat in that way, your body is going to feel so much relief because its needs are being met in a way that they hadn't been met before, right? You are feeding yourself in a way where your body feels satisfied and content and at ease instead of always dealing with this ongoing inflammation that's created from eating foods that trigger you. So I just can't emphasize enough how important this piece is in the process, that you can keep taking foods out, but as long as you have foods in your diet that are triggering you and causing your symptoms, you're going to continue to experience symptoms, and sometimes increasingly, because really when those foods are causing inflammation, it's so hard for your gut to heal and to really get to the root of what is going on for you. So I just think this is a really important piece to understand. It can be really incredibly empowering when you know what is triggering you, because then you have a choice. You can splurge when you want to. And the other thing that happens is, as you're not eating those foods that trigger you so much all the time, your gut will start to heal and your digestion will start to heal, and you'll really become more resilient and tolerant to other foods as that healing takes place. So it opens up a space for so much more to occur, and for your body to do the job of getting you back to a good balance and to homeostasis, instead of being stuck in this cycle of inflammation, anxiety, depression, brain fog, whatever it is for you, bloating, constipation, diarrhea. Like, as long as our body is stuck in whatever cycle that is for you, whatever that looks like for you, and just dealing with those ongoing symptoms, it doesn't have the energy or the resources to really repair and heal in the way that it needs to. So figuring this piece out is an absolute game changer. It will give you the mental space, it will give you the physical space to really heal and move forward, and then look at some of the other possible underlying causes in your life, like stress or lifestyle factors or things like that, that are also having a huge impact on your digestion and on your gut. So it creates a place of really coming from a place of being aware of what works for you, and then you can use that to figure out what works for you with stress, what works for you with working through whatever limiting beliefs are keeping you stuck, what works for you as far as your lifestyle and your recreation, life decisions. I mean, the list just goes on. What to do as a parent, what to do in your work. When you have the mental capacity to do that, and the inflammation isn't kind of creating brain fog and causing all these symptoms that take so much attention and really cloud our awareness in a huge way. That newfound clarity can help you do whatever it is that you need. So not just with your health, but in life in general. And so I really believe, because of my own healing journey, and because of the work I do with clients, that figuring out your food sensitivities and really figuring out what triggers you well, what triggers you and what serves you well, is super powerful in whatever your goals are, whatever it is in your life that you want to create. When you have that clarity to be able to work with food and lifestyle on a deeper level, and when you have the space to do that, which often with food sensitivities, when we're really in the depths of it, we don't, because of the anxiety and the brain fog and the bloating and the stomach pain and diarrhea and constipation, and we're reabsorbing toxins but not absorbing nutrients, and there's this underlying dysfunction in our gut. All these things are coming together to create this perfect storm that just really can keep us stuck. And so breaking up that vicious cycle by figuring out your foods is so powerful. So if you want help diving further into this is exactly what I do. I help people go through, I say, with a fine-tooth comb, and really figure out the foods that are working well for them and the foods that aren't. What meals and what foods can you digest fully and in a timely manner to where they don't clog up your system, or to where they don't irritate your bowels or your gut, and create all of this really, it's a cascade of symptoms. We have the digestive symptoms that we feel, and then there's the gut-brain connection and the symptoms that affect our mental capacity and our mood. And then there's, can throw off hormone imbalances and all of those things. So really figuring out for you what's triggering that cascade, what's at the root of it, and what's underlying it, is so powerful. And starting with food is such a good place to start. So this is what I do. If you are interested in diving deeper into this, I do offer a free coaching session. I'd be super happy to take that time with you and help you kind of figure out a plan for your next steps to really take control of your food sensitivities and your symptoms and find some relief. So I will put a link to my calendar below this video, and if you're interested, click on that link and go ahead and book a consult. Like I said, it's completely free, and we can dive into what's individually going on for you, what you want to create, and help you come up with a plan to move forward. Also, I have a free training that talks more about healing on multiple levels, healing your body holistically, and it's super powerful also in knowing your next steps and to really understanding why we need to work with the body holistically and look at stress and look at food and look at our limiting beliefs and those kind of things. So it talks through the different stressors on the gut. And so my approach is really to remove the barriers that are standing in your way and in your body's way of coming back to balance and repairing and healing and allowing you to enjoy your life, really. So again, click on either my calendar to book a consult, click on the free training link to watch that, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. So pop your thoughts or questions in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you next time.